Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FJ Media. Kwa wale hawajapiga subscription, nawaambia mnafinya hiyo bell, mnatouch, mnalike na mnashare, kwa sababu tuliwaambia hapo kwa FJ Media ndio news mtakuwa mnapata moto moto. So leo tumeona hao mawaziri wanapigwa msasa, Mutahi Kagwe, William Kabogo, wote wanapigwa leo msasa. So wacha tusikie vile watu wanapigwa msasa one by one. Wacha tuanze na Mutahi Kagwe.
I served in the cabinet of our late President Mwai Kibaki. That, however, will not in any way impair or affect my capacity to question him on his suitability for the job for which he has been nominated. Thank you. Now, Honorable Mutahi Kagwe, in less than 5 minutes, tell this committee who you are, your background, your education, and why you think you are suitable to hold office for which you have been nominated.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, members of the nominating committee. First and foremost, before I start, Mr. Chairman, let me just say that I want to say thank you. First, I would like to say thank you to God indeed, because that is why He is why we are here today. Secondly, I wish to take this opportunity to thank His Excellency, the President, for this appointment or nomination, which I hope will be approved by this committee. Thirdly, Mr. Chairman, I very briefly will say that, as I said, my name is Mutahi Kagwe. I was born in Nyeri County, and Mr. Chairman, if you allow, as I go along, I will give the reasons. I will tie up the reasons why I think I'm suitable for this job with my background. I went to primary school in a rural school in Nyeri, and I think that is where I started the journey to this discussion here today. Most of you will remember that in primary schools, or some of you will remember that in primary schools, we used to have what was called the 4K club. The 4K club is where we started our farming. Some of us went there. And Mr. Chairman, if you remember, the 4K clubs introduced us to agriculture. And that's why I picked my talent of planting trees and so on. Mr. Chairman, in my primary school, what we did, I lived a rural primary school life where we did a lot of work in coffee. I have carried coffee on my backside to take it to the factories. First in Ishamara, if anybody knows the place, in Nyeri. We have spent our school holidays in coffee factories where we were drying the coffee beans and so on and so forth.
You know what 4K meant?
Kuungana, kufanya, kuungana,
kuungana, kufanya, kusaidia Kenya.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
That's what it was.
Yeah, and I was a member of that, and clearly you two are a member. Yeah, that's what it meant. And Mr. Chairman,
Majority Leader didn't know that.
Yeah.
I think he went to school when 4K was dead.
Probably. But it is one of the things perhaps we should think about reviving as we go along. Mr. Chairman, I then went to Kagumo High School, where I studied for 6 years. But in the course of my studies too, I was a member of the agricultural club in the school. And it is through the agricultural club in the school that we actually started eating eggs at Kagumo High School, because it is how we started the school poultry project. And I remember distinctly Mr. Gisheru, who was our teacher, leading that whole project, and just emphasizing to us the importance of agriculture at the time. But I was successful in Kagumo High School, and I went to the University of Nairobi, where, as you graciously acknowledged, Mr. Chairman, we were in school together, where I graduated with a bachelor's degree in commerce. And I want to talk about that commerce degree, Mr. Chairman, because a degree in commerce prepares you generally for business management. May it be the public business in public or business in the private sector. And my education was rounded enough so that in the course
value to what we are doing.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is William Kabogo, born in Komavai sub-county in Githunguri constituency. Went to primary school in Komavai, Kitito, Ruiru, did my CPE, and then joined Thika Technical High School. And in 1978, I left for India, and I did a bachelor's degree in commerce. Came back in 1983 and joined Controller and Auditor General as an audit assistant in Exchequer and Audit Office. A job that was a bit boring. Then I looked for a new job quickly, and I found a job in Mombasa as a business advisor for an NGO, where I rose from business advisor to executive director. Then come to 2002, it was the Uhuru time, the generation to join politics and lead Kenya. And at that point, I had become a businessman, an astute businessman, made a little bit of money. And I thought I would join the team, Mr. Speaker, to take the country to the next level. So I joined politics in 2002, August, was elected Member of Parliament for the larger Juja, which is today Juja, Ruiru, and Thika constituencies. Come the 2010 Constitution, Mr. Speaker, I decided to vie for a gubernatorial seat for Kiambu County. And I was successful, and I became the governor, first governor of Kiambu. And why I think, Mr. Speaker, this is a good job for me as ICT and digital economy minister is that I managed while at Kiambu to digitize the entire revenue collection in Kiambu County, taking our revenues from 800 million a year to 2.7 billion in 14 months. I also managed to digitize the health systems such that there would be seamless work by doctors in treating Kenyans in all our Kiambu hospitals. Also had developed management information systems for Kiambu County so that from a dashboard, Mr. Speaker, I would be able to know exactly what is happening in each of the ministries, the 10 ministries. So really, that gives me a head start on, because my view, Mr. Speaker, is that the job of a minister is that of a manager and a leader. And with a big background, I have learned management skills and I have practiced them. And so I am suitable for the job of Minister of ICT. And as Peter Drucker says, it's about doing things right and doing the right things, a combination of which will give you good start in management skills, Mr. Speaker. It's a long journey, Mr. Speaker, but I've tried to condense it. While coming in here, I read on the Twitter, how is this guy going to manage an ICT ministry, yet he doesn't have a computer? Mr. Speaker, I started using computers in 1992. They were green, and used the MS-DOS language, you know. You know, you'd do CD, change directory, move the etc., and write programs. So I'm well conversant with the technical aspect of ICT, but information technology, communication technology, and the gist of putting it together, that's what a minister requires to know.
Great. We'll ask members to ask you questions. Members, let's try and cover in the allocated time. I'll start with the Deputy Speaker.
So mumesikia watu wamepigwa msasa wote na tumesema definitely tunajua watu vile wanapigwa msasa wote tunajua hakuna ule mtu atapita hapo ule ataweza kuanguka hapo kwa assembly, National Assembly pale. Unajua hao watu watapita wote, kwa sababu tuliona ni watu, mtu yote tunajuaga wameletwa kama expert na rais, tunajuaga lazima apite him sasa. So kwa wale waja subscribe kwa FJ Media, tuliwaambia hapa ndo mnapiga subscription, kwa sababu hapa ndo news zitakuwa moto moto. Asanteni sana, Mwenyezi Mungu awabariki, tutane kwa the next video.